Do 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 do. Words are flying out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through open mind, possessing and caressing me. Jaggeroo Deva, oh. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Images of broken light which dance before me like a million eyes that call me on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jaggeroo Deva, oh. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Hey everybody, great to see you. I think we've got a few people here, haven't we? Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, just running through a few Beatles songs, reviving a few ideas. So let me say a few hellos to everybody to get the show started. So we've got Kevin Murphy tonight, another Murphy. That's always a good sign. Great to see you, Kev. We got Ernie Young, great to see you, Ernie. Stuart Rushton, we've got Edgar, great to see you, Edgar, and thanks for your comments over on YouTube. Yeah, it's good. We've got Bernard, great to see you, Bernard, and Wayne. Hey, glad you could make it, Wayne. Well done, mate. You got back in time. That's really good. Is there anybody I've forgotten? Yeah. I'm imagining that Leo's here and Paul, and I know Andrew Marriott's here. Julie Flower, she should be here as well. Colleen's here, and Sal. Hey Colleen, great to see you, and Sal, great to see you too. Is there anybody I've forgotten before we get cracking on with tonight's show? Oh, we've got Linksoof, salut, hello there, and we've got Chris Damara. Chris, great to see you. You know, it's always nice to see some new names as well as all the usual regulars. I like to see everybody here on the Joe Show, the more the merrier. It's great to see you all, and how are you all doing? And of course, Daniela, sorry, I didn't mean to forget you, Daniela. How could I forget you? Great to see you. I know it's crazy o'clock in Australia. Hey, Thelma, nice to see you from France as well. So, yeah, I think I've probably covered most of the people, have I? Is there anybody else? Now's your time. Now is the time to speak up if I haven't given you a mention already. Okay, I think I have then. Ah, to be here. My weekend starts with Joe. Well, that's great, Sal. I'm glad that I can kind of help to get your weekend started. And Paul Hilliker, it's great to see you too. So, what's been happening with you all? I've had a very busy week this week. I've been playing lots and lots of guitar. In fact, I've been doing so much, I haven't had time to do any kind of work for tonight's Joe Show. So, tonight I'm just going to be having a chat with you all. We'll be doing some of the regular stuff, so don't worry too much about that. But I just haven't had a whole load of time. So, by the way, we've got Jonathan Marisil, I think that is, with his dad. Great to see you, Jonathan, and your dad. Hello to you guys. Andrew Marriott and Super Ring of Fire. Julie Ferrari's here as well. Nearly missed you then, Julie. And Green Mile, great to see you too from North Carolina. It's lovely to see you all, and thank you for taking the time to join me. So, as I was just saying, it's been a very, very busy week for me this week. I've been trying to put together some tutorials on slide guitar for you all. Now, that's not a subject that I've covered really before on my channel. I may have played some slide guitar, but I haven't really attempted to teach you any slide guitar. And I'd be really interested to have some feedback on this subject from you, to see if it is something that you'd like to learn, whether that's something you'd like to take some time learning with me. Because I have been thinking of doing a course on slide guitar. But I'm going to keep it a little bit of a secret actually, because it's a two-part lesson which I've created for the patrons. Part one will be on YouTube as well, so no worries there. And then part two, which will be a dedicated slide lesson of the aforementioned song. So I'm going to be showing you a few slide licks and things like that. So I'm hoping that so I'm hoping that slide lessons will be of interest to some of you. And it's no problem if not, that's fine. There's always plenty of material to take a look at. So we don't need to worry too much. I'm just giving you a little bit of a heads up as to what I've been doing. So realistically, a lot of my time is taken up these days by producing the lessons, as you can probably guess. And so I like to try and get at least one video out a week. And that may not always be on YouTube, but certainly over on Patreon. And if you're not sure what all that's about, there's a link down below to my Patreon page, where you can just help me continue doing what I do for anybody who's interested and hasn't heard of that. So another link which is down below this video, you'll notice that there are a few links down below, and that's just to kind of help you out really and point you in the right direction with a few things. Hey Paul, great to see you. Paul Mikeson, bring them on. Stuart Rushton, yeah, I'm really pleased to hear that you'd be interested in a little bit of slide. So one question I wanted to ask you is how many of you have joined the Facebook group page? Because we're building a fantastic community over there where everybody can showcase their own talents and get some feedback from myself and lots of other people out there who are just all very, very nice group of people who are just looking to kind of help people out. So I'm guessing coincidence, just got an Icarus resonator yesterday from Bournemouth. Hey David, that's fantastic. Hello Pat, good to see you join us. I wasn't sure if you'd be with us tonight. So yeah, everybody's kind of interested in the slide, which is good. Hello Oliver, and hello Katie, who's late to join us. Good to see you too, Katie. And Kevin is always asking me for a little bit of Black Dog. So I'm not going to get any peace until I play Kev a little bit of Black Dog. Now, I haven't played this for years. And it's a very difficult piece to play, which is one of the reasons I haven't done a lesson on it, because I just don't think there's many people out there who would have the patience for this one. Now, as I say, there's going to be mistakes all over the place, but this is just something Kev. Hey, Gin Fizz, great to have you on board with us here tonight. So yeah, Black Dog is a Blind Blake song. Blind Blake, in case you don't know, was an old blues player. A fantastic blues player, in fact. And if you're not aware of his music, then I would definitely suggest that you check out some of his stuff, because he's done some absolutely wonderful music. As I say, this is one of his. I'm just going to play you a few bars because I couldn't possibly go all the way through the song. It goes like this. So that's a little bit of Black Dog for you. As you can see, it's quite a handful and it's quite nice. God, it's got dark in here. Let me just draw the curtains. It was sunny a moment ago. Funny, isn't it? Weather's changing. I drew the curtains because it was so bright. So hopefully that's a little bit better now and you can actually see. Hey Tony, great to see you. You're new to the channel. That's no problem at all. Hey Maxter, I had a little bit of an issue earlier on with the live comments and things. And so I disabled you as a moderator and I want to put you back. So I couldn't kind of get you back up there. But hopefully things will go all right tonight, Max, and we won't need too much administration. But I'll touch bases with you at some point and put that right. Okay, bowl stuff. Okay, so Patrice, nice to see you as well. So that was a little bit of Blind Blake, as I say, and called Black Dog Blues. And he's a wonderful, wonderful guitarist. So definitely check him out if you haven't had a listen to him already. Now, I was just mentioning a moment ago about the Facebook group page. We've started something over there and I would urge anybody who isn't already a member to go to the link down below and join the group page, because it really is very, very good and a very supportive group where you'll get lots of help from people and lots of support, you know, and it's an opportunity for me to see you play guitar, which is really, really nice, and I'd like to see you. So there's lots of you who haven't actually kind of joined up there, and so it will be good to see you. Now, as I say, we're running a Beatles Fest at the moment, and so essentially what that is it's a opportunity for everybody to try and play a Beatles song. Now, I've covered many, many different songs by the Beatles, so you could even learn one of the songs that I've taught and then play it over on the Facebook group page, because I really, really would like to see you play and give you some feedback. So it's almost like a little lesson, and maybe I can give you a few little pointers. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the object of it is for you to just post something of yourself playing, because there's a lot of people out there who are very shy about posting videos. You know, if you're that way inclined, you know, you can always just post, you know, so we can just see the guitar. You know, we don't have to have a full-on video production or anything like that. Just an opportunity to hear you. So I really, really do hope that, you know, a lot of people are going to take up this offer, because I'm looking forward to seeing you. Marco, good to see you. And he is preparing I Am the Walrus. So we've had some great things already. There's already been some posts. So now, let me just give you a few pointers, okay? A few ideas. Like I say, I've done many, many lessons on the Beatles, and so let me just give you a brief flavour of some of those. So I've done Norwegian Wood, which is a great one to learn if you haven't already done that one. You know, you got... girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good, Norwegian Wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. Hello Richard. I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. So you got Norwegian Wood, you've got Something, so yeah, you got Something, which is in C. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she moves me. So you got Something. I've done a lesson on that one. I've also done a lesson on With a Little Help from My Friends, so that's another one. And they're all different, kind of skill levels. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. You got While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping, while my guitar gently weeps, and so on and so forth. You've all, of course, you've got Blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All my life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. So you got Blackbird, lovely, lovely piece. And a great one if you're kind of thinking about, you know, a little bit of finger picking and stuff like that. It's a great, great song for that. You've also got In My Life. There are places I remember. Yeah, so you got that one as well, which is a really, really nice song. The other one which I was just looking at, which I might actually enter myself, is the Across the Universe. Words are flying out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Waves of sorrow, pools of joy are drifting through. Open mind, possessing and caressing me. Jagaru Deva. Oh. Nothing's gonna change my world. Nothing's gonna change my world. So that's a really nice song. You've got And I Love Her, which is a great track. I've also covered that. You've got Yesterday, and you've got Here, There and Everywhere. Who we've got here? Jefferson Expat, Birmingham, Renee van der Torre, Helter Skelter. That's another good one. So we've got Here, There and Everywhere, which I've covered as well, and Eleanor Rigby. So there shouldn't really be any excuses here. If you're over there on the Facebook group page, then please, please post, because it's, you know, it's really nice feedback from my point of view. Often, you know, the camera's on me and I'm kind of showing you what I do, but I'm very interested to see how you lot are doing as well. So you'd be doing me a great big favour if you did that. So just before we finish off with this kind of Beatles idea, yeah, and as Dave's just pointed out, you know, I've also done the old Hide Your Love Away, which is nice. It's the only problem with that is it's not really a beginner's song, you know. But that doesn't matter. Would anybody like to hear me play a Beatles song? I'm waiting for some yeses or some nos to that question. Would anybody like to hear, let me be a bit more specific, Hide Your Love Away? And I'm quite alright with you saying no. I'm more than happy with you saying no. If you don't want to hear me, there's no reason why you should. It sounds like you do. Okay, let me just do a quick version of it then. Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. there each and every day. I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, let me hear you all now, come on, here we go. Hey, you got to hide your love away. And again, let's hear you. Hey, you got to hide your love away. How can I even try? I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in. How could she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round all you clowns, let me hear you say. Close. Hey, you got to hide your love away. Come on, I can't hear you. Hey, you got to hide your love away. One more time, come on. Hey, you got to hide your love away. That's better. And final one. Hey, you got to hide your love away. Well done. Bravo, 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 bravo. Excellent stuff. Could actually hear you that time, which is really good. Okay, so there are lots of Beatles songs that you can choose from. And I know that there are some people out there who... glad you enjoyed it, Dave. Fantastic. Came in too early, did you, Julie? Well, it sounded like you were in time to me. Okay, so before we move on from this Beatles thing, I realise that there are some beginners out there, and so that's no excuse not to post, right? Because it doesn't really matter what level you're at. There's a Beatles song for everybody. And I'm going to just take a very, very, very quick look at a very, very simple song, which just really uses two chords. And it's just E minor and C, or C and E minor. And it's called Eleanor Rigby. And again, I've done a lesson on this one, so you can kind of just play the C and go, look at all the lonely people. It's just the two chords. You got C, look at all the lonely people. And it's just E minor, Eleanor Rigby's dancing in the church where the da 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 dee dee. In fact, I tell you what, get your guitars ready. We're going to have a little play along. Let me just pull up some lyrics here for you. Are we all ready with the guitars? This is going to be our first little play along. Get yourselves ready for a bit of Eleanor Rigby, okay? I'm notoriously bad at remembering lyrics, so I need a little bit of help, okay? So the thing to remember about this song, very, very simple. It actually starts with the chorus, so it's that. Look at all the lonely people. All right, so you got a C. Look at all the lonely people. E minor. Okay. C. Look at all the lonely people. All downstrokes. All right. C. Look at all the lonely. E minor. Okay. Let me hear you playing this. Look at all the lonely people. Okay, so that's your chorus, as it were. So you got I beg your pardon, you've got C. Look at all the lonely people. Okay, so at people, we go to the A minor. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Okay, and then in the verses, we're just playing the E minor. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. See, lives in a dream, waits at the window. Okay, back to the E minor. Wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door. See, who is it for? All the lonely people. Okay, but do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? I think that's how I did it. I think that's pretty much. So you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to hear you singing. So you got that? We got the C to E minor for the lonely people section, and then for the verses, we've got just the Eleanor Rigby bit there. The verse is just Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window. So it's kind of self-explanatory. Try and hear these things, okay? Now remember, we don't do any down up here. It's just not cool, all right? Because we really need to kind of use our ears, all right? And that's one of the bad things that YouTube has come up with. Now, I realize that some of you may use this, but it's not the way I try and help people out. Try and hear things. At the end of the day, there's only a down and an up. So how complicated can it be? And as I say anyway, for this one, we're just talking about down. Okay, yeah, so I was going to simplify that little section, but really it needs to change. So you got the chorus and you've got the verse. And for all the lonely people, you're just going to do E minor. It goes, let me just explain this because this is the only bit I haven't explained, okay? So we've got all the lonely people. All E minor, right? Where do, on the do, we go to C. They all come from. Back to E minor on from. Same again. All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Sounds good, Oliver. All right. So have we got that? Let me hear some yeses. If you're not sure about something, now is your time to speak so I can help you with it. Hopefully you do get the idea of that. Okay, it sounds good, Oliver. Yeah, Wayne's got it. Oliver's got it. We've got a few people. I don't want you to have to put down your guitars and start texting Colin. That's fine. All right, we're just going to go for it. Ready to go. Everybody's good. Fantastic. All right, so I'm really looking forward to hearing you kind of playing this. And if you can, try and sing it as well. My advice is, even if you don't consider yourself a singer, always try and sing, because it will tell you where about in the arrangement you are, which is a really good thing. Okay, so we're ready? Let's go. No ups and downs. I'm glad that seems to be going down. That seems to be going down to a lot of people. And hello there, Brooklyn Pete. It's the first time I've seen you here, so welcome on board. Nice to have you. Okay, so here we go. 2, 3, 4. I look at all the lonely people. And again. I look at all the lonely people. Let's do that twice more. Real good. I look at all the lonely people. I'm liking that, guys. Well done. Last time. I look at all the lonely people. Right, here we go now. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church C. Lives in E minor, waits at the window, wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the sea. Who is it, E minor? All the lonely people. Where C they all come from, E minor. All the lonely C. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will see. No one comes, E minor, look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody see. What does he, E minor? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? And again, all the lonely people. Where do they all belong? C. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Well done, guys. Great again. C. Ah, look at all the lonely people. That's a great effort on your part, guys. A really, really good effort. So now that you've had a little bit of a practice, do you fancy having another bash now that you've just had a little bit of a run at it? Or would that be making things boring? I'm waiting for some answers one way or the other. Would you like to move on, or would you like to have another bash at it? Silence is golden here. I'm not on my own, am I? Speak to me, somebody. Keep going. All right. Wayne Dale, keep going. Keep going. That's good. That's what I like to hear. So you've had your warm-up now. Okay? This is the real thing. All right? This is the real thing. Are we ready? I'm just getting my words ready. Okay? We're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I look at all the lonely people. Nice and slow. See? I look at all the lonely E minor people. All right, here we go. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has seen. Lives in a dream, E minor, window, wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the sea. Who is it, E minor? All the lonely people. Where see they all come, E minor. All the lonely people. Where to see they all belong, minor. Here we go. Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will see. No one comes, E minor, look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody see. What does he, E minor? All the lonely people. Where see they all come, E minor. All the lonely people. Where see they all believe, E minor. See, I look at all the lonely, E minor. Great stuff, guys. See, I look at all the lonely, E minor. Okay, are we good? Just testing. Back into a verse. Eleanor Rigby died in a church and was buried along with the sea. Nobody, minor, Father Mackenzie, wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the sea. No one was E minor, all the lonely people. Where see they all come E minor, all the lonely people. Where see they all belong. Okay, one more. Ah, look at all the lonely people. One more. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, guys. Really, really well done. So if you haven't kind of tried that song before, it sounded to me like you got through it pretty well there. So really well done. And so as you can see, the Beatles, were one of those bands who, wrote songs that kind of anybody could play. Some of their music was very complex. Some of it was very simple in essence. I mean, take a song like Eleanor Rigby, very basic to play on the guitar, but some beautiful kind of string and brass arrangements for the song, of course, by George Martin, which is transformed the songs, and really, really made them fantastic. Thanks for that, guys. I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, very, very good. Yeah, I know, Pat. I was having to keep on saying "kept in a jar that she keeps by the sea," and that was just to keep everybody on track. Can't beat a free jam play along live. Well, you're very welcome, Wayne and Dave. Pressing fretting hand on and off adds a nice sound. Okay, so this is something that I've looked at previously. You can make a song as simple or as complicated as you like, Um, I've kind of done versions of this song. Let me just check my tuning because I'm a little bit out there. But like I'm saying, you can make these songs as complex or as simple as you wish. And my advice is always start very simply and get the basics of the song down. Oh, well. I think these changing temperatures is really throwing things out. Sorry about this, folks. Yeah, so like I was saying, you can I used to well, let's not go there now, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. As I say, you can pick out the melody and put all those little runs in and things. So from small things, great things come from small things, essentially. So start off simple, and then you can kind of always build on the arrangement and make it a little bit more interesting as you go along. So that would be my advice with the kind of Beatles stuff and things like that. So you got no excuses now. I expect to see you all posting over on the Facebook group page. And many people have already posted. Let me see if I can remember some of those. Well, Andrew Marriott is fantastic at posting over there. Posted some wonderful stuff. Paul Hilliker is another poster. There's another chap who I can't remember the name of who posted a real nice version of Hide Your Love Away, and then there was another chap who posted another. So these are starting to happen, so please join in the party. Okay, now another thing that I wanted to check out, and as you know, time always runs away. This hour goes so quickly, so I try and squeeze as much stuff in as I possibly can for you, because there are some nice ideas I wanted to get across to you this evening. Yeah, and one of them was I don't know if any of you finger pick, um, and I think it's a great thing to be able to use the fingers on your right hand. I think a lot of people who use plectrum are very apprehensive and about using their fingers because you feel so comfortable with a plectrum. And it's like anything, if you haven't done it before, then you're not going to feel very confident about doing so. But the sooner that you make a start, the better, really, because although you can do a great deal with a plectrum, there is so much more that you can do with your fingers. Now, you may notice from my recent postings on YouTube and Patreon and everywhere that I posted a simple version of Sweet Home Chicago because I realized that I'd already done this kind of version of Sweet Home, which is a finger picked version, which is more like I said, hey, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago? Okay, so many of you will know I often play this song. And I did the fingerpicked version, and it's one of my most viewed videos. But what I kind of realized is, well, hang on a minute, not everybody can fingerpick. And whilst I wish they could, and I'm going to try and encourage you to do so, I realized that it would be nice to show you guys a version of the song just with a plectrum, so you can still play it. I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago? So I wanted to kind of prove the point that you can do it with your fingers, but you can also make a compromise with a plectrum. And there may be some purists out there who will be saying, oh, well, that's not really Robert Johnson. Well, maybe. But I like to kind of make my lessons as accessible to as many people as possible. That's what's kind of important to me. Don't want anybody to feel, oh, well, I've got to be a real master to play Robert Johnson. Well, you haven't got to be a real master to play Robert Johnson type inspired music. As I say, you can these kind of things are very, very easy to come by. And so I've done that lesson, and if you're interested in this kind of music, then it's available to everybody. It's over on YouTube. It's also, you get the tabs if you go to Patreon. You often get the additional material. So if you think you'll need that, then head over there. But the actual lesson is available to everybody. And everybody can get something from this lesson, I feel. So you've got the more complex version, the finger-picked version, or you've got the plectrum version. So there are the two different versions, and believe me, you can do these things with a little bit of practice. I don't know. It's about having a little bit of confidence in your own abilities as well, and spending time on something is a really, really important thing. Now, if you're new to the guitar, or you consider yourself a kind of beginner or something like that, it's difficult to know some of the very basic things, like, well, how long should I spend practicing a song before I move on to something else? They're very basic things, but when you're starting out, you don't really always know the answer to these things. And I often find when I'm teaching students that generally speaking, they just want to move on and move on and move on to the next number before they've really done what's necessary. So let me just, without rambling on about things, let me just say that do take your time and work on a song. And even if it means you spending a week on a song, that's absolutely no problem. Some songs I have to work a week on. I'm really no different to you. It's just that I'm having to spend a week on something maybe a lot more complex than what you are. But I still have to put that time in. It doesn't matter how long you've been playing guitar. I'm always going to pick up the guitar, and it could be, admittedly, if it's a popular song or a Beatles song or something like that, I can learn it very, very quickly. But if it's some very complex type blues thing, then it will take me a lot of time. So, it's important for you to know these things. I think that's, yeah, and as Andrew's saying, try a month, even if you spend a month on something, it's not a bad thing. It just means that you're going to be playing it really, really, probably really well by that time. Okay? So, as I say, time is running along, and there's a couple of things that I want to run past you. So, I'd like for you to humour me and just try and use your fingers, okay? Just the simple thing to try and remember with finger picking is use your thumb for the top 3 strings, like so. Hopefully you can see that, yeah? Hey David Seggy, you're in hospital with both legs in splints to get guitar in with me. Enjoying lessons, Joe. I'm working on Space Oddity and been learning for around 5 weeks. Just struggling around. Well, let's all wish David a very, very speedy recovery. Sat in bed and both legs in splints. That can't be a whole lot of fun, David. We're all thinking of you, and we really hope that you get well soon. And it's great to hear that you're enjoying the lessons and finding them some solace in the lessons. That's great. So Leo, as Leo has pointed out, spending a week on Layla, I mean, playing the solo on Layla, these things can take a lot of time. So you've got to be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is massively important, okay? So never be hard on yourself, because that's really not going to help you at all, is it? Right, now, I must move on. Okay, and just remember, David, that the F chord, the bar chords will come sooner than you think. I think that's the bit that a lot of people find tricky in Space Oddity, isn't it? It's that progression where you go C to F to G to A. But the secret is nice and slow, C to F to G to A. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a little bit of time. So just regular slow practice and you'll get there. Okay, now then, like I say, as I digress, I want you to start trying to use your fingers. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, none of that matters. Thumb for the top 3 strings, index finger on the G string, middle finger on the B, ring finger on the E. Okay, so you have even if you sit there for 5 or 10 minutes a day going like that, might not sound very interesting, but your finger picking will come on in leaps and bounds. So just try it. What have you got to lose? It's only 5 or 10 minutes. If you do that on a daily basis, you really won't regret it, because once you start out on your finger picking journey, things are really going to change for you in terms of your guitar playing. It will open up a whole new world to you. And so with that in mind, I'd like to run a few chords past you which you can play about with and it's kind of very difficult to make a mess of it, if you see what I mean. Now, this is something I've been looking for, and it was something that I played many, many years ago, and it's like a classical type of piece. It's Pachelbel's Canon, right? Now, really don't worry too much about what it's called or whatever else. The important thing is to just remember the chords. Now, it'd be handy if you've got a pen and paper for this, because there are a few chords and it's unlikely that you'll just remember them all as a progression. So I'm just going to give you all a moment to either get your phone out or get a piece of pen and a piece of paper, because if there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this week's Joe Show, this would probably be it, okay? So I'm more than happy to wait for you to get what you need, so you can just write these few chords down. It will give you something to practice your finger picking to, and I think bring you some fun. You know, I think this could be quite entertaining for you. All right. So it starts out with a D chord. That's your first chord. Then an A chord. Okay, so they're not difficult chords as yet. Now we're going to switch to some bar positions. Okay, so we've got our D. Something not right there. Hang on a second. Okay, so we've got the D, A, B minor. Okay, hope you all know a B minor. I'm guessing a lot of you do know these chords. Now F sharp minor. And for those of you who don't know what an F sharp minor is, a full bar on the 2nd fret, and then the 4th and 5th strings on the 4th fret. All right, so you get this shape. I'm trying to keep my fingers out the way so you can see what's happening. Now this is good, right? I'll come back to this in a minute. So we've got D, A, B minor, F sharp minor, G, which you can play as a bar or like so, D, G, A. Now the beauty of this is that it's got a few open chords in it, so you're going to know those. It shouldn't present too much of a problem. You got a D and an A and a G. They're your open chords. And then just to change things up a little bit, you've got that B minor and the F sharp minor. So it's also going to help you with your chord transitions, yeah? Changing chords. So you'll be changing between some open chords and then some bar chords, because, you know, it's inevitable that when you're learning a song, it's not all going to always be open chords. So if the bar chords are something that is problematic, then again, it's going to help you like so as well, like I say. Yeah, so like I said, Bernard and Hunter, this is Pachelbel's Canon, essentially. So it's the chords for that. Now, the nice thing about this is that irrespective of what you pick, as long as you're fretting these chords, it's going to sound nice. So for the D, so for those of you who don't know, if you're ever playing an open D chord, in whatever context, the top 2 strings are never going to sound great with a D, okay? So just think of your D as the bottom 4 strings, okay? And you won't go far wrong. Now with an A, you can kind of play any of the strings. Same with the B minor and the F sharp minor the G, D, G, A, and that is the progression. Hello April, good to see you here as well tonight in Paul Maxon. Now we're all ready for wedding bookings. You are indeed, Paul, okay? Because it's a very, very popular song and people aren't going to be too disappointed if you play this because it's quite a pretty little tune. It sounds really nice. Now, like I say, it's important that you've got the order correct. D, A, B minor, F sharp, G, D, G, A. Now, as long as you've got them written out in that order, everything is going to be good. And like I say, I could pick something different every time and it's still not going to sound bad. And you can actually, again, going back to the Eleanor Rigby analogy, the melody is always there within the chords, generally speaking. So the better that you get, you can start picking out the melody. And so what this does is it gets your brain working on lots of different levels, because now if you're new to the finger picking, you're having to think about, well, what fingers shall I use? That doesn't really matter. Just remember the golden rule, what I said. The thumb is going to play the top 3 strings and those index, middle and ring finger are going to play the bottom 3. So you can't really go too wrong there. Nevertheless, it's a lot to think about because you're thinking about, well, this whole right hand finger thing is new to me, okay? And then you're having to think about changing the chords. So it's a challenge on many levels. And what I've found is that when we give ourselves these challenges, it really, really brings on our guitar playing. Because if we just sit back and just run through all the same old stuff that we kind of play, then we're not really pushing the boundaries enough. We need to be constantly trying to progress with our playing. So that's why I wanted to give you that particular thing to have a think about. And maybe, who knows, next week when we come back, sorry, in a fortnight when I'm back, we can have a little bit of a play along with that, which I think would be nice. And it'd be wonderful if you, by that time, it gives you a fortnight to just go through the changes. Now, like I say, if you're brand new to the finger picking, you can just pick out the chords. So you're going... So that's the first step, and then you might be going... And you'd be surprised how quickly things come along. So it's just very much about starting down this road of finger picking, because we've got to start somewhere. And if you're finding that a little bit of a challenge, then maybe just start out with the D to the A. So you go... Yeah, and when you're happy with that change, so then you might think, okay, well, I can go from D to A quite comfortably, so maybe I'll try and start doing a little bit more single. Yeah, so that works. And you can kind of experiment with that, and then you can move on from the A to the B minor because there'll be certain points within the arrangement that provide certain challenges. So for most people, they're going to find it difficult going from the A chord to the B minor. Because anytime we go from an open chord, okay, to a bar chord, it's always a challenge, especially if we're kind of, at the beginning of our guitar journey, as it were. So I'm hoping that helps you and gives you some ideas to work on through this coming fortnight. So when we meet up again, we'll have a few little things that we can experiment with. Now, as I've already pointed out, the lesson on the Robert Johnson Sweet Home Chicago, it doesn't just teach you the song, but it teaches you the basic shuffle, okay? And I think that is something which is also worth learning, okay? Because as I've pointed out so many times before, it is something that you'll be able to play so many songs if you can just play a basic blues shuffle. So I'm really hoping that was practicing this song on a keyboard a while back. Yeah, great for beginners. So yeah, I'm not sure how I can do that. I'm sure, Boomer, somebody can you not grab a pen or your phone or something like that and just, can somebody type this out for me, because I'm not in a position to be able to type it, okay? If somebody could do me that favor, I'd really appreciate it. Perhaps Leo or somebody like that, or Julie or somebody. Let me just read these chords back to you for Boomer, so there's some record of it if people come back to watch the video. Well, Sal's done it for you there, Boomer. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. That's great, Sal. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, so we've actually covered quite a few things there tonight. Not quite as much as I would have liked to have covered. But how about we have another little bit of a play along, yeah? Before I go. Are people up for another play along? I'm yet to hear people say yes. So until you do, I will not be doing a play along. You can sing along, Pat. I'd like it if you sang along, because I'd hear your lovely voice all the miles down here. Okay, and do you know what we're going to be playing along to tonight, folks? You can have a guess. I'm going to play guess. Anybody can anybody guess? Hey, Mr. D, good to see you. David Follett, nice. Yeah, we've got some new people here tonight as well. So thanks for that, Patrice. That's a few people written it out for you now, Boomer, so you should be good. No, you're wrong, Paul. Good guess, though. At least you're having a guess. Sal, no, it's not Alberta. I know we always do that. I'm going to really put a challenge your way this time. No. All right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to play. What's that going to be? Yeah, you got it, Bernard. You got it. Let me just check this tuning. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I can't resist being with you all a little bit longer. I can almost sense the Prosecco flowing tonight. And all I've got's a blooming orange juice. So I can't leave you quite so soon, because I have such fun catching up with you folks. It's lovely to catch up with you. You just keep me wanting to hang around all night long. But I'm sure you'd get bored of me if I was about for too long. So we're going to do a little bit of Neil Young. We're going to do Harvest Moon, and I'm going to talk you through it first. Okay. Right. Are we all listening? Are we all ears? Is everybody ears? Enjoying the cherries there, Pat? Oh, well, look, Richard, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. You're so kind, you lot. You always seem to have nice things to say. I'm very, very fortunate with this group of people that I've gathered to watch these shows. Very, very fortunate indeed. Okay, it seems like you're all ready. So, whenever I'm playing this little figure, you're all going to be playing D. Alright? Anytime you hear me playing this. You're going to be there, alright? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to talk you through this, what you should be doing for each little part of the song. So, obviously at the intro, you know where you should be, here. Alright? So, it does that 4 times. And all that time, you're going to be on D. And then your next chord change will be E minor 7. Probably one of the simplest chords you're ever going to know. Alright? So what I'd like you to do is just put any finger you like on the 5th string of the 2nd fret. So when I start to sing, that's where you'll be. Come a little bit closer. Yeah? Hear what I have to say. Back to your D. Then back to the E minor 7. Just like children sleeping. Won't be there. We could dream this night away. Back to D. Then you're going to go to a G. But there's a full moon rising. Let's go dancing in the light. Back to a D. Alright? And that's essentially how they go. So they go from the D to the E minor 7 twice. And then they go from the D to the G. And then the only other thing you need to know about is this A sus position, alright? And this bit here, you're going to be putting your ring finger on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret and your index finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret. Sorry, the 4th string of the 2nd fret, right? Because I'm still in love with you. And you're going to go to A7. I want to hear you dance. Back to it. Because I'm still in love with you. Back to the A7. On this harvest moon. And then you're back to D. Okay? So that's about the best explanation I can give to you. So don't worry too much. Just do your best. That will be good enough for me. Okay? I'm looking forward to hearing you all sing this one and play this one. If you're not playing, then I hope that you'll sing. It's been wonderful to spend another hour with you tonight. And this will be the last little number that I play for you. And I won't be disappearing until I've said farewell to you all. Okay, so are we all ready? Don't answer that question. You'll have to put your guitars down. I'm just going to assume that you are, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All D, remember? Here we go. say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the light. That's G. Let's go out and feel the night. Alright, A sus. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love. Back to D. E minor 7. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. Loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is climbing high. G. I wanna celebrate, see it shining in your eye. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Keep it going. A sus. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. D. Absolutely outstanding. A sus. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Absolutely outstanding, folks. Bravo, 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 bravo. That was wonderful. I could hear you coming through the ether there, making it all sound so, so lovely. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in there. I think you did a fantastic job, and it's just wonderful to be able to play together, to go through some of this stuff together and work together on a few little songs that we're trying to get together. It's really, really great to see you all. Very, very grateful for you all joining me for the show tonight. It's been wonderful to catch up with you all. So let me say a few goodbyes to Hunter Thomas, Edgar V, Andrew Marriott, Mr. D, David Stanley. Hey, David, great to see you as well. Colleen Cahill, Edgar, Dave R, Alan Robbins. Oh, first time joining. I'll be back. Alan, great to have you. Gordon Taylor, wonderful. Thank you so much. Sal, lovely to have you with us again tonight, Sal. And Green Mile, great to have you. Leo, you're always good. Say hello to the Snakes. Andrew Marriott, Bob Hardy, Alex Richardson, Paul Hilliker, David Follett, Julie Ferrari, Paul Magson, Wayne Dow. Jeff, you're here. That's great. Bernard Hems and Edgar V. Wow, what a lucky guy I am to have you all spending an hour with me on a Friday evening. Really, really, when you could be doing a lot of kind of things. We will have to find an Elvis song, Ernie. Maybe you can think of one you'd like me to do sometime. Max there, thanks for joining us, Max. I'll have to kind of make you a moderator somehow. I haven't got a clue how. Thank you as ever, Julie, for joining us tonight. You're the life and soul of the party. I can almost taste the Prosecco. And Pat, thank you very much for joining me. And please take me up on some of these things that I've mentioned. It'd be wonderful to hear you play something over on the Facebook group page. If you haven't already joined up over on the Patreon site, I could sure do use your help. So I think most of you are already over there, so there's no worries there. But if you haven't checked it out, I'd really be grateful if you could. I'd just like to wish you all a great weekend and a great week, and I'll be back with you in a fortnight. In the meantime, take care, folks. Thanks again. All the very best.